going to turn face down on this one, and I'm going to just hike a leg up the bed so its knee is in line with hip and my foot is in line with my knee. But you know, anything close to that is great. Don't worry about the specifics too terribly much. I'm just going to move these other pillows I have out of the way right now so that I can lay face down, my head to the side, and my arms are goal posted out so they're at 90-degree angles. And my other foot is just straight down the bed, flush with the bed. This is actually feeling great on my shoulders right now, getting them stretched out, as well as alleviating a lot of tension, pain I'm having in this right glute right now. And then whenever I feel up for it, I can just switch sides, maybe turn the other direction. See what feels good on your neck, which position feels good. All right, whenever everything feels kind of settled and good, we can try to move on to another pose. The next couple ones I'm going to show you might be more difficult for some folks depending on what's going on with your body. But if you're up for it, feel free to try it. You can always come back to it if today is not the day. So this one, Happy Baby, we're going to do another pose where we're keeping our hips and tailbone glued into the bed, and then our feet are up in the air. If, you know, check in with yourself if this position doesn't feel right, it feels too fast, too soon, whatever, listen to that, honor that. If you want to try it, feel free, and then your fingertips can grab your ankles if that feels accessible to you. If it feels accessible to go all the way up to your feet, the outsides of your feet, feel free to do that. But again, we don't want to be reaching and like lifting so much that our butt starts to come off the bed. So just find a position that feels sustainable, and then if it feels good to rock like we did with the knees to chest before, feel free to do that. From here, if you would like to try to do feet up the wall, take some pressure off low body, give some more massage to low back. We can scoot over to the wall if you're against a wall, and I'm just gonna actually put my glutes all the way up against my bed. I'm sorry, my glutes all the way up against the wall. I put my hands on the corner of the bed to help me get there, just pulled myself with my upper body a little bit. So my glutes are against the wall, my heels are on the wall, my knees right now are kind of bent. That's okay. Figure out if it feels better to have your knees more flushed against the wall or if a little bend feels better. And just settle into this spot. Make sure your tailbone again is on the bed, and we're just gonna breathe here. Feel free to goal post your arms out if you'd like, or overhead stretch. And all we're gonna do is just hang out and breathe. And to get down from here, a lot of times I will just kind of flop over like that and then push myself up. While I'm in this position, I will show you how you can do cat-cow from the bed as well. So getting shoulders aligned over wrists, getting hips aligned over knees, and then for cat, that's this one, where I'm tucking my chin to my chest, I'm arching my back, I'm breathing, and then cow, I'm dropping, my hips kind of scooted back, My chest opened up. I'm very aware of my throat right now. Feeling some expansion here from throat out through shoulders. Feeling the curve in my spine. And if you'd like a different way to do this one just from a seated position in your bed, you can also do that by just hanging your legs off the bed. And all we're going to do is mimic that motion. So this would be the cat. This would be cow. All right. Let's see. Another thing that we can do from bed, a little calf stretch actually. We just scoot back in bed so legs are flush with the bed. This isn't going to be as intense, you know, as if you were standing up and doing a calf stretch against the wall, but you're still going to get some good result. So I'm just going to experiment with what feels good in my body. If having really straight legs feels good and pulling my feet back towards me, so I'm flexing my foot like that, I'm pulling those toes back towards me, and I'm feeling a stretch in my calves right now with my knees flush to the bed. I'm going to see what it feels like if I lift my knees a little bit and flex my feet even more. Yeah, it feels good. See what that feels like in your body, if you'd like. All right, so another one that I can show you. Oh, and I will note that the happy baby and then the legs against the wall are also great ones for a sciatica flare-up. The next one that I'm going to show you is a great stretch for that piriformis muscle, but again, if you are having a current flare-up, take it easy, be careful with this one, see if it's like helpful, feels good, or if it's causing more pain. So we're just going to like thread the needle, it's what some folks call this. With that, I'm going to start by thinking about having my feet flexed again. So I'm going to be on my back and I'm going to pull a leg up. I'm going to flex this foot. By that I mean it's in this pulled back position, and then I'm going to pull my other leg over if I can, and this other foot is also going to be flexed. So two flexed feet, one is just resting on the knee here, and then this knee on my right, I'm going to just gently push it back a little bit. Excuse me, see what that feels like. And then I'm going to reach through with my fingers, grab my thigh, and pull it in. I realized I had let go of that flexion in my feet, so I'm going to flex those feet again. I'm going to try to keep my shoulders down and back, my chest open, and I'm going to use the strength of my forearms and biceps to pull this thigh, this left thigh, closer to my body. I'm really feeling that stretch in that right glute right now. And then I can switch it up. Do the other side, flex those feet, get that left knee back again. You know, not too intense. You're not pushing it away so much that it hurts. I'm grabbing my right thigh this time, pulling it close, feeling that stretch through the left glutes. All right, and then one that I really like to do from here is scooting to the edge of the bed and then just letting a hip fall all the way off the bed. And I can keep my other leg bent like this, or I can let it go flush straight down. What I'm doing right here is opening my hip, my left hip. I'm opening my left side body. And then, feel free to put your head on the other end of the bed and do the other side so you even it out. The muscle that I'm really focused on right now as I do this and as I'm breathing, like the muscle that I'm thinking about, lives inside the hip and travels up to the spine. Just a little information on this muscle. This muscle is called Psoas, Psoas. It basically attaches on the inside of the hip bone and like travels kind of up through the core and attaches on the spine and the low back. A lot of times folks get low back pain from this muscle, but it's more accessible actually through the front of your body. It's often a muscle that can hold a lot of emotional stuff, can hold a lot of history. So be super gentle with yourself. Only do what you feel a yes coming up in your body for. Honor that. Opening the psoas, getting it stretched out can be really helpful if you are in a hunched position a lot of the day, whether that's just being seated for whatever reason, whether it's at a desk or in a car, whether it's just like being on your phone, being on a computer, just like having to do a lot of bending over. And a lot of times what happens is this muscle that's, just imagine like this, I'm drawing a line from my belly button down to my outside hip. This is kind of like the path that this muscle takes. This muscle that could be like nice and soft and kind of fluid. If we are crunched over a lot of the times, what happens to that muscle? Imagine my hand is the muscle. The muscle starts to crunch down like a C shape. So then if we do something quick, like, ooh, stand up real quick, that muscle is getting like almost a little shock, right? So, and then how we often might experience that in our body is like, oh, my low back, what is going on? So taking the time when we can to open that muscle and just breathe into that muscle, find some awareness of that part of our body, allow it to start to relax and open, especially with that leg hanging off the bed, can counter, I don't know what the word is, but can give you a different way to hold the body than the position that a lot of us are used to staying in a lot of the time. I will offer one more pose before I show you some other self-massage stuff, which is just child's pose. And to do that, we can get back up on knees if that is accessible. If it's more accessible to get into this in a different way by like starting differently, feel free to do that. But my big toes are touching. I'm letting my hips rock back, so I'm kind of sitting on my ankles. And then all I'm going to do is just lower down. I'm going to be on my elbows. I'm going to allow my forearms to just go soft. And then I'm just going to slowly sink all the way down. And just do child's pose in bed. Thank you all so much for watching these videos. I hope that this is helpful. I'm super open for feedback, how this could have gone differently, been better for you. I will show you a couple other things with a tennis ball before we close, some more self-massage stuff. And basically the idea here is, imagine, I often tell my clients, imagine this tennis ball or whatever ball you have available at your house. Something harder than this might be a little difficult, but maybe not. Maybe it'll feel great, depending on what your body wants and needs. So, but I often tell my clients, like, imagine this tennis ball, like, is my fist, like, is my soft fist. So imagine, like, when I'm putting my soft fist, like, in your glutes or in your shoulder or, like, wherever you want me to be working that day. And imagine this tennis ball is that fist to just do some self-massage for yourself. So we will do, like I said before, we'll do another video specifically for neck and shoulders and everything, but I will show you a brief example of that in the meantime. So I'm going to put this ball in this really tight part of my upper shoulder that a lot of people experience pain, and then I'm just going to roll on it a little bit. If I need to put a towel underneath it to stop rolling so much, like, I'll do that. You might not have that problem as much on the bed. That's more of a on the floor or leaning up against a wall problem. But yeah, just position it where it feels good. If rolling isn't getting you the relief that you need, try moving a limb instead. So try moving your arm. Like, I really feel that a lot more by just putting my arm over my head or out to the side. And then I can also move my neck from side to side. And then we're going to apply the same thing, because this is a back and hip video. We're going to apply the same thing that I just did kind of anywhere along the back. Just don't put it like directly on your spine, put it a little off to the side of the spine. But I'm just going to, you know, roll on this ball, and then I can scoot it down further, like underneath my glutes. And now that I have another limb here, if rolling on this doesn't feel like it's getting me what I need, then I can move my leg around. You know, I can try it out to the side, other side. What does up feel like? What does down feel like? Oh, that was feeling good, but I think I need to reposition it just a little bit. Okay, oh, that's better. Gonna do some internal, external rotation here. Just see what this feels like in your body, and, you know, experiment. So that's just a little bit of what is called like self-myofascial release that we just did with this ball, and I will do more of that in another video. So anyway, thank you all so much, and whenever you are kind of finished doing whatever routine, whatever of these things that we did today makes sense for you, after you kind of close out doing that, and even if closing out doing that is just transitioning to sleep or transitioning to get out of bed, or, you know, whatever is next for you in your day, if it feels good to kind of close by doing some more intentional breathing that we started with, simply in the position where we were flat on the bed, and, you know, if you want a pillow under your knees or your low back, do that. Just bringing your awareness back to your breath, bringing your awareness back to the space. If it feels good to set an intention, and or just show yourself some appreciation for taking however long you took for some self-care, whether that was a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever. Just show yourself some appreciation for that amount of time. All right, thank you everyone. Until next time, take care.